How's it going, YouTube? This is Slacker Magician coming at you with another edition of Stalking MegaCapitalG. Looks like he's using his Bujins against Inzektors, and Mathematician sent Hornet to the graveyard turn 1. So the best card in the Inzektor deck is already in play. Ask any Inzektor player, and I bet you they will admit that the deck would be no good without Hornet. So MegaCapitalG's Yamato fell into a bottomless, and then main phase 2 he searches for Mikazuchi, which doesn't really make any sense to me. He either should have activated Tenki for Mikazuchi first so that he could special summon Mikazuchi if Yamato was destroyed, or just not activated it at all, because as we see here, Hornet now has a target, and if he hadn't activated that Tenki, Hornet wouldn't have been able to pop, meaning Centipede wouldn't have been able to search. So now he just gets a Dragonfly that he wouldn't have if he hadn't activated the Tenki. But he dualities for Foolish, Myrmelio, and Moral Attack. Looks like we're looking at actually like a Hat Inzektor deck. You definitely don't take the Moral Attack here because that's a card that you want to stay in your deck. He takes the Foolish Burial because that card offers the most options. He can send Ladybug or Gigamantis when he needs it. And also, he already used his bottomless, and Trap Trick Trap Hole Nightmare isn't very effective against Bujin. So he just goes into battle phase. MegaCapitalG going to take 3100 to the face. And that's the extent of his plays. It's going to pass back to MegaCapitalG. MegaCapitalG with that God Hand, 2 Yamatos. Unfortunately, it's going to get Book of Moon, which not only keeps the Centipede alive, it negates Yamato's end phase effect, and he's not able to summon Mikazuchi off that. That's rough. Back to the Inzektor player. He's probably just going to equip Hornet right away. And, yep, Hornet coming out of the graveyard, going to equip the Centipede. But MegaCapitalG says, no! No free searches, no free pops for you. So that Chalice was a 2-for-1, but don't forget he has Dragonfly in his hand anyway, which you'll be able to equip Hornet to. Getting a free pop, special summon, another pop. Oh, and the Torrential gets wiretapped. That is probably the kiss of death for MegaCapitalG because, yeah, it's scoop phase because he would have been able to actually equip Hornet to the Dragonfly. Hornet would have been able to pop one of his other face down cards, meaning Dragonfly would have been able to special summon another, probably a Centipede from the deck, and then Hornet would be equipped to the Centipede, allowing Hornet to pop again, and allowing Centipede to search probably for his Excalibur. So that was definitely game over. Alright, and we're going real quick right into game 2. MegaCapitalG lets the Inzektor player go first for that 1 card advantage, but unfortunately he opens up with Centipede and Ladybug, and Centipede's going to get that search off. The deck would have been hurt way more if Centipede went to 1 instead of Hornet going to 1, by the way. You only need more than 1 Hornet if it gets DD Crowed or something. He dualities for Mathematician, Centipede, and Dionea. He'll probably take the Mathematician since Centipede is searchable off a Dragonfly, and Dionea is dead right now with no Myrmelio in the graveyard, and that's exactly what happens. He's setting his cards, so looks like he's about to pass back to MegaCapitalG. Let's see if he open up Yamato again. He does the double MST on the 2 back row, blasting away Trap Trick Trap Hole Nightmare, and unfortunately a Moral Attack, which doesn't have a target but still gets special summoned as a 2100 beater and level 5 material. Photon Thrasher comes down, combining himself with Bujingi Turtle to make, let's see, maybe Tsukuyomi? Nope, it is a Ragnazero, a very interesting choice. Because Ragnazero actually doesn't do anything against Gigamantis because Gigamantis actually changes the Inzektor's original attack, and Ragnazero can only pop and draw when there's a monster that has a different original attack versus his current attack. But it will be useful against Zexcalibur, and I guess the 2400 attack stat is relevant against the Gigamantis as well. So he's gonna drop that Mathematician that he got off the duality last turn, and actually dump a Traptrix Myrmelio, which indicates he has a Dionea in his hand. And wow, that's no back row. There's no more back row on the Inzektor player's part, so MegaCapitalG is free to go into beatdown mode, which is exactly what happens. Ragnazero takes out the Moral Attack, and the hare takes out the mathematician, he's going to be able to draw. So we're probably going to see a Diane into 101 here, so we can snatch steal the Ragna 0 and not have to worry about a potential honest when he attacks over the hare. But instead we see a centipede drops, which really makes me question why he sent the Myrmelio to the grave last turn instead of the Hornet. I mean, if he just drew this centipede, I still would have gone with the 101. He equips Gigamantis. I don't know why he didn't use Ladybug for a free Inzektor card first. The potential honest is real, and that was enough of a misplay to make him scoop it up. And looks like Big Snacks has some hope to actually win this match. I don't know if anybody else noticed, but Hornet never hit the grave last game, and I wonder if there's any correlation between that and the fact that the Inzektor player lost. I wonder, I really do. So looks like the Inzektor player is choosing to go first this game. He says, screw card advantage, I want to get my combo off as soon as possible. Plus he can get that +1 off of Centipede's effect anyway, essentially. Oh, but he does not get that +1 off of Centipede's effect, because MegaCapitalG always has those Veilers locked and loaded. In fact, he went -1 off of that Ladybug, but in reality, not really -1 because Ladybug belongs in the graveyard anyway. MegaCapitalG summons Bujin Sinew, indicating he has Honest in his hand again. Always with the broken draws, MegaCapitalG, I swear. But looks like this guy's got to take a second to read the card. And the attack is met with the Artifact Sanctum. One of the most overpowered cards in the game. I really hope Mortal Attack gets limited to 1. But, I mean, with the Shaddolls around, Mortal Attack really isn't as useful as he used to be. Now that I think about it, that could have just been an MLG Quickscope we just witnessed, because if that Honest was a bluff, he basically just burned a Sanctum for just a Sinew, which does his job in the graveyard anyway. He sets one and passes back, and that back row had better be chainable because it looks like Inzektor Hornet's coming out. I mean, he could have always just sent Myrmelio randomly to the graveyard like last game, but nah, looks like he learned his lesson, and that better be chainable. Chain that Compulse right now. Oh my gosh, it was chainable, and MegaCapitalG just goofed big time. That's actually game over unless right now MegaCapitalG says chain MST to Centipede effect, not Hornet. You notice he didn't summon a Mortal Attack off of the Sanctum because he would have to skip his battle phase, and if he gets his battle phase this turn, he wins because using that Ladybug in the graveyard, he can get another Centipede and make the two of them level 5. Plus, he can get that Zexcalibur at the end. He's going to make that Sharknado monster that can attack twice, doing 4,800 damage, plus the Mortal Attack at 21, plus a Centipede at 24 is more than game. I don't think he even needs the Zexcalibur. But he could have prevented all of this if he had chained MST to Centipede equipping Hornet, because then Hornet would not have had a target to pop. Therefore, Centipede wouldn't have been able to pull Dragonfly out of the deck. And Dragonfly wouldn't have been able to equip Ladybug, which wouldn't have been able to special summon a Centipede, which wouldn't have been able to equip itself to the newly summoned Centipede to add Zexcalibur. And yep, here comes the Sharknado monster, I guarantee it. I think it's called Shark Submarine. Oh, actually, it looks like it's called Shark Fortress, but Sharknado is best. And surprise, you forgot MegaCapitalG's always got the Veiler locked and loaded. He just said, you know what? I'm so fucking boss. I'm gonna take a handicap on this game. Veiler! I'll come back with just, like, what, like 1,000 life points or something? uh, but unfortunately, it does not look like he has the Veilers locked and loaded for once, and it's gonna be good game. I think I'm gonna name this duel MegaCapitalG gets his ass whopped by Inzektors, not whooped by Inzektors, because he recently had a video where he said, "Yo, Shaddol, get your ass whopped." So, looks like Inzektor's still alive. This has been Slacker Magician. Hope you enjoyed the duel. Leave a comment below, and peace out. I'll see you in the next one.